And there we go. We got this right on time this week. What's up, guys? See how we're doing here. Give a couple minutes, see if anybody shows up. Again, playing around with this live stream thing, trying to see how we can use it for the channel, see if we could grow a little bit, if we can do anything with it. So, like usual, every Sunday I make some wings for football. Making wings today, gonna have a cold beer while we're making it. Bears don't play till late tonight, so not sure what we're gonna do for wings for the Bears game, but I am gonna be making a huge batch of crawfish etouffee for a pork mafia get together tomorrow, so I might have to have some of that for dinner tonight during the Bears game. So, what's up, Psycho Jackal? All right, we got our first comment in there today. Yeah, so we last week made some picks, confidence pull and survivor suicide pulls, and I absolutely got pummeled. I got destroyed last week. I went 6-10 in my confidence picks. I lost some big games. I lost my 14, 13, 12 games. Pummeled. I'll go over those here in a second. Week 1 football, it's always a guessing game. I like to say that once the Super Bowl happens the year before, I get Men in Black and I just lose everything. So getting up to speed in the new year takes a week or two. So I'll go over my losses from last week since there were more of them. Pick the who did I pick? Pick Dallas to beat the Bucks. Bucks dominated. Pick Detroit to beat the Eagles. And that was such a good game. So many good games last week. Detroit had a chance, but they just made a few stupid mistakes that cost them. I picked Jacksonville over Washington. New England over Miami. I picked the Niners over the Bears. That monsoon game really, I think, really changed the whole aura of the game, and I just don't think that the Bears aren't great, but you got to support them, especially today going against the stupid Packers. I picked Green Bay over Minnesota, Carolina over the Browns. I just don't know about those teams. Tennessee over the Giants. How did the Giants pull that off? Saquon went nuts. You know, it's great to see him back doing well. Especially since, you know, the injury. He hasn't really had a good season since, and he's on a bad team, so I'm rooting for the guy. Hopefully he does well. Seattle losing to Denver. I picked Denver. I just don't know how that happened. Is Russell Wilson overrated? I've never really enjoyed him as a quarterback, but, you know, Denver's got so many more tools. They just got outplayed. Cincinnati over Pittsburgh, good for Mitchell Trubisky, rooting for the guy. I think he got a raw deal here in Chicago, so hopefully he does well. And then for my survivor, I picked Cincinnati, and of course they lost in overtime. And my suicide pool, I picked the Giants, and of course the Giants went on to win week 1, which is absolutely silly in my opinion that they were able to pull that out. So we got wings going. Gotta have a brewski. Having a little Dos Equis to start the morning. Getting ready for Vegas in a couple weeks. I'm gonna be in Vegas in 2 weeks from now. And that's my drink of choice, Dos Equis, while we're out there. So, all right. What should we do first here? We want to start doing picks, or we want to take a look at, let's take a look at some wings real quick. This is what we got going on over here. We got our game day wings. Get your back set up over here. Close this up. Alright, so week 2 picks. I'm going to go from my least confident pick, which is going to be my 1, all the way down to 16, which is the most confident pick. And hopefully I do better than last week. Last week, 6 and 10. Brutal week. Brutal week. So here we go. So first pick I took as my least confident. I took Green Bay over the Bears. Now I do this often because I pick the Bears typically with 1. Because no matter how much confidence they could win, they should win a lot of the times. What I'm trying to say is they always do the opposite of what I think they're going to do. You know, if they're favored to win by a bunch or favored to lose by a bunch, somehow they end up messing it up and winning or losing. So, plus they're my team. So I got to root for them, put low points on them to lose. So if they win, I'm happy. In Green Bay, it's going to be tough, prime time. Rodgers coming off a tough loss. Bears coming off a big win. I just hope the Bears can hang with them today. You know, we got Fields, who's dynamic. We just need the rest of the team to be able to step up. That defense needs to keep doing what they did last week to Lance. I know it was a slop field last week, so it's really tough to see what this team really is. They had a good preseason and a good game 1, so hopefully it carries over against the Packers. My second pick, my number 2 point pick, I took Kansas City over the Chargers. Again, 2 awesome teams in a tough division. You just never know which way those games are going to go. So I got that one already. I took at number 3 the Raiders over the Cardinals. Again, those are 2 teams that I think they're kind of middling teams that are with the potential of being really good, and it should be a fun game. Number 4, I took Minnesota over the Eagles. Eagles had to scrap to beat the Lions last week, and Minnesota's a superior team over the Lions, so I just think that Minnesota should be able to handle them, even though it is in Philadelphia. So it should be pretty interesting of a game. All right, let's see how this is looking here. All right. My number 5 pick, we have Buffalo over the Titans. Titans had a loss last week against the Giants. Buffalo, it's at home. They should dominate. But again, I may be overvaluing the quality of the Titans as a team. But Buffalo should win that game. New England at Pitt at my number 6 game. I took New England. Okay, same thing. Maybe I'm overvaluing them, but I'm really hoping that Mitchell Trubisky has a good year, and I like Najee and like the coach over there in Pittsburgh, Tomlin. So kind of rooting for them, even though I don't know. Are the Patriots good anymore? I mean, they had flashes last year, but I just don't know. Carolina at the Giants. I picked Carolina. I think Carolina's got a good team. They got to run more plays. I heard a stat today that they only ran like 50 plays, and the league average is 64, so almost 15 plays short of a normal day. And McCaffrey didn't get any time last, or he didn't get many touches, so they need to get him the ball more. It's in New York. Again, I think it might be a coin flip. I'm picking Carolina again this week. This might be the last week I pick them if they lose again. And then number 8, Tampa Bay at New Orleans. I picked up Tampa this week at 8 points. I'm not sure what's going on with Kamara yet, if he's playing or not. I haven't seen anything. But he was kind of absent in last week's game, and they still ended up pulling it off. Need a big day for Michael Thomas again. That was nice to see. Number 9, Detroit versus Washington. I took Detroit. Again, I think they're a good team. I think they're better than projected, and I had them winning last week, and they should have pulled that one off, but I think Philly's better, so they ended up pulling it out. So, cheers. We're going to get into the last 6 or 7 picks here. Not seeing many views on here. If you can hear it or see it, let me know how it sounds, what it looks like. It says I have some pretty good connectivity here, so that should be good. As I say that, it starts mucking up here. Alright, so number 10-point team. My 10-point team is Cleveland. Took Cleveland over the Jets. Cleveland surprised me last week with the win over Carolina, which is a good thing because I have Chubb and Hunt in a couple fantasy leagues. So to see those guys being active and able to move the ball still with Brissett behind the center, that's a good thing. So I think Cleveland's going to beat up the Jets today. And then number 11, I have Indy. I made these picks a couple days ago before I heard that there was no Pittman for the Colts today. So Colts player Michael Pittman's out today. So I might have moved this down the list some to, an 8 or a 7. But I still think Indy beats Jacksonville. Jacksonville just isn't that good yet. Even though they got Christian Kirk, who's the greatest receiver of all time with that contract. So anyhow, I picked Indy. Number 12, I got Cincy at Dallas. I got Cincy over Dallas. That Cincy game was sloppy, overtime. They had a couple chances to win that game. No Dak for Dallas, so this is going to be interesting to see how Dallas adjusts and if they're able to even make a play at it. Number 13 team, I have Denver at the Denver versus Texans, at home versus Texans. Again, I really think that Denver team's been good for a few years, just no quarterback. And now they got a star quarterback. They really should be better, but Wilson didn't seem to make a difference this last week. So we'll see. I think that Denver is going to... the Texans are pretty bad, right? So we're hoping that they're going to... The Denver Broncos take out the Texans. Number 14, I have Baltimore versus Miami. That's pretty high on Baltimore. They're really good, but Miami they play great too. They got a bunch of home run hitters there, so that should be a fun game to watch. But I do think Baltimore is going to pull that one out. All right, so number 15. I got San Fran versus Seattle. I think San Fran gets their first win today. Trey Lance is going to have a day. They're out of the slop. Seattle, it's at home, but man, that was such a big win against Russell Wilson last week. I think a lot of that energy is going to be lost. I think that adrenaline's going to come down, but I think San Fran should pull that one out. Again, that loss for the Bears last week, I 100% blame that on the rain. That monsoon was insane. And for the final number 16 pick, I took the Rams over Atlanta. Atlanta, they're just not good. Rams are, so that should be an easy one. I lost my one survivor and suicide pool, but I am in another survivor with many people in it. So last week I put the Ravens for that one. This week I am picking the Rams. So we need the Rams to go ahead and win to keep me alive in that one. So what are you guys' thoughts? What games you like this week? Throw me a comment. I'm gonna go ahead and baste some wings over here. Time to flip and baste, I think. So let's get you settled in over here. Maybe we can see the wings here. Now some of these wings I'm actually going to be basting with, can't see it, this Frank's Red Hot Garlic Buffalo. I've never tried this one before, but I picked it up and I tasted it, and man, it tastes good. So we're going to hit a bunch of these with that. They were basted in just normal Frank's Buffalo for overnight. I had them in a container overnight in some Frank's just red hot buffalo sauce. So I do about half in that, and then we're doing the other half in Pork Mafia's Legacy Blues sauce. We do that just to have a little variety here. We got buffalo and we got some barbecue. Close that up. All right, I see Chris Godwin's out this week. I knew he had a hammy for Tampa. So I think that's about it, guys. Got my picks in, got the wings cooking. Enjoying a cool one on a Sunday morning, ready for football. Here we go. Seeing that loop's catching up here on Alright guys, let me know what you think about the games going on today. Which team's yours? What teams you root for? What you think about my picks? I know last week's were a dud. Those were trash. So hopefully we're getting better in week 2 and going forward and maybe winning a few weeks here. Let me know if you like any games against the spread, anything like that. Cheers. Appreciate y'all stopping by. If you get a chance, leave a comment. If you haven't subscribe to the channel, please do that. Share it with people. Looking forward to getting a bunch more cooks in. We haven't done a cooks lately. I've been pretty busy. So I got some cooks planned up here, and hopefully I have some new videos out in the next week or so. So alright, cheers everybody. Have a good Sunday, and go Bears. Screw Aaron Rodgers, that pompous jerk. Peace.